Hi guys! Yes! I can wear long sleeves, can you believe this? It's like 15 degrees outside. I'm so happy. I gotta go grab my cup of tea, so I'll be right back. Right. Alright. I'm sort of all set. Just need to grab a few things. Assuming I can find them. This and this. Okay, I'll start with that. Tip doop de doo. Alright. Alright. Here I am. Yeah. Huh. Sorry. So, hi everyone. Hi Massimiliano, Tsukabu, Rhiannon. Hey Otto. Hi Rose and Grace. Hi Grace. Hi Mark and Lindy and Jacqueline. How is everyone today? I hope you can hear me all right. I don't know how my voice will. Hey Avery, hi. Yeah, fighting with the arch is bad. But yeah, I don't know how my voice will hold today. I had quite an awesome evening yesterday. A friend bought me and herself tickets to go see the Work the World drag race event, and it was pretty awesome, but I spent the evening like clapping and yelling. So it's a bit it's not as bad as some concerts I've been to where my ears would still be ringing today, like the Mogwai concerts. It's no wonder the half of the crowd, like I think they sell earplugs at the venue because it is so loud, and it's awesome, but your ears are ringing for like forever after that. And yeah, so it was really loud, though I think the venue had really bad acoustics in a way, because whenever the crowd was clapping and yelling, it was impossible to hear what the people on stage were saying. But yeah, it was kind of cool. Is anyone else watching Drag Race or aware of this kind of stuff, or am I talking to a bunch of people who are like, it's fine, whatever? Hey, Cinder Bunny. Hey, Cyan. Hi. I might have to pop out just for a second because I think Mr. E cannot like put the washing machine to stop and it's ringing non-stop, which is pretty annoying. Hold on. And that's done. Oh, Marc. Are you French Canadian? That's a rain in Dallas. That sounds weird. Oh, yay, Jacqueline! Nice! It's such a fun show. Oh, it's amazing. And like the event I went to yesterday was pretty awesome. It's kind of insane to see it live, and there was so much glitter. Everything was glittery. Oh, it was really great. Hey, April. Hi. I'm sorry, is the audio really kind of bad? Audio is the thing that will forever... it's like my bane. Glitter, glitter. Oh, it was epic. Like, if you guys know a bit about the queens themselves, there was, Kimchi was there, and Bob the Drag Queen was there, and... I'm trying to remember, but, hold on, I gotta write it down because there was Bob, there was Kimchi, Aquaria was there, Eureka was there, Cameron Michaels, Asia O'Hara, I cannot say that name fully, Asia O'Hara, anyway, 1, 2, 3, 6, Violet Chachki was there, holy moly, and who am I missing? Was there 8 or 7? Anyway, it was pretty awesome. Oh, good. Okay. Audio is fine. Good, good, good. Yeah, Bianca Del Rio is out there, and she she has her own movies on Netflix, which is kind of funny. I've seen the first one, but I haven't seen the second one yet. Non, mais j'ai fait une année chez Chicoutimi pour apprendre. Oh wow! If you were able to learn French in 1 year in Chicoutimi, kudos to you. Oh, Violet Chachki, her number was like mesmerizing. She is the most burlesque queen out there. It's impossible. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. Okay, so let's get started with cats and jobs. Or at least, I'm gonna start with one I think I sketched before. Oh no, it's under a pile of palettes. It's gonna stay there. I am not moving that right now, no way. I'm sorry if this is a bit light. Yeah, it's kind of light. We'll try to. Tsukabo says, I really should learn French. I remember my granddad speaking just a little bit when I was a kid visiting him. Yeah, French is not so bad to learn, but I think the real hurdle comes when it gets to learning the stupid gender of words. Because in English, you don't really care if a chair is a feminine or a masculine word, noun, like it's just a chair. But in French, it's a feminine thing. It's une chaise. When you have something that's masculine, then you have to use un instead of une. So there's always this kind of weird thing. And it's the, like, I have a couple of friends who were native English speakers, and they learned French really well, actually. But yeah, the one thing that gave them trouble, even after they could speak it nice and well, was that the genders. Like, they would say like un chaise, and we would have to say, oh, it's une chaise actually, because that's something us natives we learn from, you know, growing up here and having our parents speak the language all the time. So it's kind of easier for us, perhaps. So I'm trying to draw a cat at a cafe. That's what I'm trying to do. Violet is so unique. She's burlesque, she's macabre, she's both horror and grace. She is. She absolutely is. And this might not be something that people who don't follow like drag race and drag shows and stuff like that, but there is like a level of physical commitment to the thing, because you have to put yourself through some pretty how can I say it? It's not difficult, but it's perhaps unappealing for the most of us. Like, anyway, Violet's number, she does a bit like a striptease, and it's just weird. It's this weird moment where you're like, first of all, this person is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, which is in itself kind of a moment worthy of remembering. But then the grace and it's really like a performance. Like, it's an artist, so the performance itself is mind-blowing. Like, a bit like you would see someone doing like trapeze at the circus. Anyway, like, whoa. it was really awesome and really glittery. I love glitter. I don't want to wear it. I don't want to, you know, but everything that reacts with light is fun on its own. Hey, Fiona. Mark says, to be fair, I have also been living in Francophone West Africa off and on since 2005. Oh, wow. Huh. Oh, that's cool, Rose. Orange Beauty is your art thing. Oh, I will, April, I will. Hold on. Email. I'm missing 4 colors, so we can set something up for that. I hated word genders, and I hated imperfect conjugation. I don't even remember what is what regarding conjugation, because it's you know how I'm sorry, I sigh a lot, but I'm not tired. I'm just trying to put my thoughts together, and it's always like a gymnastic. So but you know how I was, okay, let me set this up. When I went to see my parents recently, I had to take the bus, and I decided to give the Audible trial a try. And I downloaded the complete Sherlock Holmes narrated by Stephen Fry, because I love Sherlock Holmes. You maybe have guessed that by now, but I really love Sherlock Holmes. And I was listening to the very first, it's the Study in Scarlet, I think. Anyway, and when Watson evaluates Sherlock's abilities, he tries to make sense of it, like tries to find out what Sherlock does, and he's like, well, this guy has knowledge of like really obscure and bizarre and odd, like criminal crimes knowledge, but no practical knowledge of certain things and all that. And I kind of feel the same. Like, there are a lot of knowledge that I had at some point because they taught it in school that I don't really have a use for anymore, so it sort of has gone away. Sometimes I feel bad for this stuff because, like, at one point I was like, I don't even remember how to do like a division on paper. like to divide a number by another on paper. I was like, I've forgotten that skill. But I mean, if I've forgotten it, it's because I don't really use it. So at the same time, I don't really feel bad. But yeah, it's kind of like that with I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, the like the tenses of verbs. I don't really remember which is which. I often have to go look it up in our verb dictionary, but kind of makes me laugh because I'm like, yeah, sure. Hey, Kiaru and Isabella. I don't think I've said hi properly. Hi, Gia. No, the stream just started. English is really easy to learn because you get so many opportunities to learn it. Hi, Zoe. Oh, I'm so glad. Otto, you're still watching Elementary. Everybody, go watch Elementary. If you like Sherlock Holmes, this show, definitely for you. Especially if you didn't really like what the BBC did with Sherlock, which is my case. Sorry. Hey, Ian. Yeah, Spanish is really similar to French. So I had Spanish classes in high school, and I still remember some of it just because it's so similar to French. Also, some weird stuff from learning through weird soap TV shows. I think the one that we keep laughing about is saying, "Donde está el cuarto de baño?" Where is the bathroom? It's pretty handy if you travel, of course, but it sort of made me laugh. Or, ¿cómo se dice sandwich en español? Se dice bocadillo. ¿Cómo? Bocadillo. Oh, yeah. Hey, Susan. Oh. Hold on. What? Hello? Hello? Shut up. Okay, that was a cell phone. Oh no, she kept asking people where is the war instead of train station. What could she mean? Où est la gare? Oh, où est la gare? Oh, I see. Okay, so train station is gare and war is gare, so it's really similar. Lotta says, I thought I liked the BBC one until I watched Elementary. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's so great. Hey, Malvina, hi. Yeah, Elementary doesn't have Mr. Cumberbatch, but it has compelling characters and great writing. So... Oh wow, Avery, French, Spanish, and Italian. Will that be confusing? Lacey says, it's funny explaining to my American, all English speaking friends why objects in Spanish have a gender, like la mesa and el carro. Yeah, it's same thing in French. I can't believe Bill Murray is a prick. I'm sorry if you guys like Bill Murray, but I've really fallen off the horse for him. He can go get lost in the forest for all I care. Lucy Liu is amazing in Elementary. She's really funny. She's really compelling. She's gorgeous. Like, I have to, every time I watch Elementary, I have to go check how old she is, because I'm like, there is no way she's not like in her 30s. Oh, she's great. I love her. I think Elementary is on Prime TV if you have Amazon. Oh, Lucy, I'm glad you guys like Elementary and Lucy Liu. Daria is an amazing show. Tsukabu. It's like my holidays. Every winter time I watch back a bit of Daria. Daria, yeah. What has Martin Freeman said? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm worried. Trying to catch up on chat. Harry says that there has been more than one occasion when they used a Spanish word for an Italian question. Yeah, it's kind of perhaps easy to make them, even if they are really different languages. I cannot speak about Elementary because I've only watched one episode, but Sherlock characters was written to be an obnoxious... No, he wasn't written to be an obnoxious British dude. I disagree. Don't start a fight with me on Sherlock Holmes. I agree that Lucy Liu doesn't age. Otto. She's gorgeous. Her episode in Futurama is amazing. Lisa says, yeah, Bill Murray. Well, she agrees with the fact that I said that Bill Murray is a prick. She told her mom yesterday while they were watching the original Ghostbuster that his character is just him being himself with the script. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh, Zoe, you're right. Otto also doesn't age. Martin Freeman said Lucy Liu looked like a dog. Said from the equivalent of the human equivalent of stale white bread. Why would... I'm angry. Well, Martin Freeman can go suck an egg. That's what I say. Holy moly. Yeah, I have one day the whole ordeal of having Daria on DVD was like took forever, and they had to change all the music because Daria had amazing like actual music because it was on MTV. So it would use like real music instead of like music made for the show. So if you can catch the original run of the show, it has amazing 90s music, but they couldn't put that on DVD. Like they would have cost a fortune in copyright rights. Yeah, copyright rights, nice. But yeah, so they had to redo all the score to release it on DVD, and it came out many years ago by now. But I like pre-ordered it. I was beside myself with glee when it came out, and I still watch it. I did a couple of fan arts. I love the show. It is impossible to catch up with the chat. You guys are in a good mood today, which is pretty awesome. Have you been experimenting? I'm sorry, Mark, you wrote a super nice comment earlier, and I sort of... It went by so fast. Hold on, I will scroll back a little bit because it was really nice, and I want to say thank you. But I also want to read it properly. Hold on a second. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Oh, awesome, Mark! You've been making your own paints with plants. That's so cool. That really looks like a difficult process of having the precipitate the pigment and that kind of stuff. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Yeah, Otto looks... yeah, perhaps you age on paper, Otto, but like looking at you, it's pretty difficult to tell. Like even I remember when you had the worst of your health issues last year, like the sleeping issues and all that, and you did a video, and I was like, if this is how you look when you can barely sleep and feel awful, holy moly, you must be like blinding when you feel 100%. Like, newsflash, Sherlock Holmes, he is, but he's not obnoxious. He's in this weird situation where he knows way too many things, and he's around people that don't notice like a fraction of what he notices. So his brain is like on a different lane than everyone else, and like he doesn't do it on purpose, but it's just a result of his brain condition of being super clever, super awesome. And yeah, in elementary, Sherlock is he's a human, and it's pretty there are some really humbling moments, and they show that he's human by showing like weaknesses, but not lousy weaknesses, like human weaknesses. The fan art, it's on my DeviantArt page. I don't have any, it's digital, so it's Eve-Bolt at DeviantArt, I think. The BBC show is really like, how can I say that? It's clinical, I would say, maybe. While the Elementary, the CBS show, is really human and has a great humanity, and you can really relate and you empathize better with the characters, while the BBC show you empathize with no one. Like, this character was important dies and you're like, pfft. Or even worse, I think the thing I hate the most is how when you have like, I'm losing my train of thoughts, hold on. Oh yeah, you have things happens between characters that don't feel justified, not because they're a bad idea, just because they didn't invest in developing a relationship between these characters. Like, I haven't watched hey, Ethereal Ode, hi. Yeah, I haven't watched the BBC show in a while because I don't like it, but if I remember correctly, at some point, Watson, sorry if that's a spoiler to anyone, but Watson gets married to, what's her name? Anyway, and I don't, like how did they get to that point? I don't even remember why they would consider marriage. Like I understand that in the original books they don't really develop on that much either, but the books do a better job of having time gaps. Oh, the worst thing, the absolute worst thing that the BBC does. Yeah, it is pretentious and pseudo-intellectual, which is, but it's this stupid, like the Reichenbach fall BS episode. That made me so angry, because they're like, haha, this happens. Like, if you're unfamiliar with the Sherlock canon, at some point Sherlock took a dive down a fall with his nemesis, and that was supposed to be the end of Sherlock Holmes, but the public and the fans were so outraged and they kept demanding for more, so eventually Arthur Conan Doyle went, it's fine, he's coming back. So oh yeah, Mary, that's the name I was looking for. Mary. But yeah, and the BBC show tried to incorporate that to their weird adaptation, and I apologize once. If you like the BBC show, good for you, but you're not gonna find a lot of common ground with me here. But anyway, they wanted to have that moment where Sherlock falls down a waterfall to pay homage, or to have this moment, like a moment in the original series. But the thing is, they make him fall down a building. in in London, like, you know, not down a fall that you're like, a waterfall that you're like, oh, we don't find remains, we don't know what really happens. It's kind of a like, no, they make him fall down a building, like from the top of a building to the sidewalk in front of people. And that was like cliffhanger, and I was like, whoa, how are they gonna make sense of this all? And actually they don't, they just don't give a, yeah, they just, oh, magic, I mean, Otto says that's that's her head when there was an off switch on the bomb. Hey, Connie! Hi! Yeah, that episode made fun of the fans so badly. It's not nice. Though it had, oh, I don't remember her name, but the actress, she was in My Mad Fat Diary, and she's really nice. She's really good. And I was like, yeah, it's her, but why is she doing this character? So, yeah. Yeah, if you are sensitive to blood, all these procedural shows like Elementary and all of that, they don't really, I mean, it's not gory ever, but they will show blood because it's about murder. So if they come to a place and there's just a pool of blood and like no bodies, well, they will show the pool of blood. So if you are really sensitive to this stuff, might not be like a great watch for you. Oh, thank you so much, Zoe. These are quite old, actually. They gotta be about 10 years old by now, these comic pages. Yeah, Connie, we've been this. I have white fluff on my. Oh yeah, no, it's not white fluff. Actually, it's tape. I think. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Sherlock is not great. Like, I would suggest perhaps giving a better chance to Elementary because it's less infuriating and it's really better put together. Like, you find in there all the things you like about Sherlock and that kind of stuff without all the things that are really bad in the BBC adaptation. Oh, wow. Hey, thank you for putting the link to my comic, Grace. That's really nice. And thank you for the kind words on the comic. Yeah, Gia says BBC's is a more modern day adaptation full of Easter eggs, I would say, and plot holes, but yeah. Entertaining just because of that, but no more. Elementary is an actual new narrative, and as such, they need to make character development a big part. Yeah, but they also make the character development feel like the characters. Like they don't have these like. This is really like I'm rambling on because I really like Sherlock Holmes as a franchise, as a concept, as a character. And I tend to get really obsessed with the stuff I like, and when that happens, I might not be good, but I feel like I notice the stuff that doesn't work more, and it really annoys me. So, like, even if Elementary is not like a pure copy of what Sherlock Holmes is, it keeps the same spirit. Like, it never feels like Sherlock is not Sherlock, even if they have to adjust a couple of things to make it a modern day thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Connie asked, do you think you'll partake in Inktober this year? I don't think so, because I don't like the format of Inktober. In that it's awesome, but I cannot do a thing every day. I prefer to do things in batches. So if I do it, I will prepare a batch of drawings like on a day, have 5 of them, do something else, and then prepare another batch. So I don't feel... Am I sort of missing the point of Inktober? Perhaps. Elementary is on Amazon Prime. It's on CBS in the US. We don't have cable, and I don't have Prime, so I usually watch. We usually buy the DVDs when they come out. Tsukabu says that they heard the TV show Flash is going to do a bit of a tribute to Sherlock Holmes in their new season. Well, that's interesting. Are you doing Inktober, Connie? That's not what I want to do. I don't know if this ink is actually waterproof or just... What does it say? It's supposed to be waterproof. Okay. Perhaps it just needs to dry a bit more. Let's try it. So I took out this is brown rapidograph ink. It's supposed to be waterproof for paper and film. And I want to ink this with a good old brush. Not saying it will be nice or it will work, but that's what I want to do. Also, it came to my attention lately that I might be holding my pencils and pens wrong, because apparently this is the proper way to hold anything, like anything, but I'm kind of used to holding it like that, which is technically because I'm lazy and I have weak muscles. If I follow the logic of the comment I was reading. Oh, hey, Carria. Sorry I didn't say hi. Oh no. Oh no, Connie. Right, I will keep holding my brush. But sometimes I wonder if holding it like that can be the cause of like cramps, hand cramps, or you know, just stuff like that. So I wonder if perhaps not for something as controlled as inking with the brush, but for sketching perhaps I will practice sketching with the different grip, just to see if it helps with cramping. Oh yikes, that's really not the same size. Oh well. Practice. I hate when I do that, like when I do the eyes and one is definitely larger than the other one, but I never realize before I ink it. And then it's like, well, it's inked, so deal with it. Yeah, I've seen some really confusing grip as well. I think this one is, like, I've definitely seen other people hold pencils and stuff like this. I asked Mr. E and he does it the proper way, like this. And I was like, You also don't get cramps. So I'm like, Food for thought. This is a kind of a greenish brown ink. I haven't used this one a lot. I used the black one for last year's Inktober. I think if I do Inktober this year, perhaps I will do something like what I'm doing right now, like paint cat critters doing stuff. Something really comfortable, because inking would be the challenge. I am really of the mindset that you should only take on one challenge at a time if you can. Because it's hard enough tackling like one challenge, but people sometimes for Inktober they're like, I'm gonna use new paper and new brush and new ink and I'm gonna I'm gonna draw something I've never drawn before, and it's super overwhelming in the end, and they only last a couple of days before they completely fizz out. I will see about a squishy grip. Might help. I will also see perhaps if I can learn to be more comfortable with this grip, I could switch between both, and that perhaps will help with the cramping. Because I can feel when I use it like this, I feel like it's really different. I cannot, like, this allows me to be really vertical, while this is more like a horizontal grip, and it's really not the same kind of use for details. And certain pens and fountain pens and whatnot are really difficult to use like this, because they work a lot better on the vertical axis. There are people holding the brush with their mouth because they cannot work. That's very true. Or feet, or yeah. Connie. Connie says, actually, I ink putting the brush in my ear. It's great for cleansing purposes too. Yeah. You just need a brush with the big cotton ball at the end. You plug it in and... Yeah, it's a really small brush. It's almost too small. It's a size 0. If you guys, I can suggest an idea I really enjoyed last year for Inktober, which was to learn like a calligraphy typeset. Because you can focus on one letter per day, and you can just try to ink up one word following like a specific type of calligraphy. And it doesn't have to be a really fancy one, it can be one of the trendy ones or brush calligraphy, but it's a fun practice and it's kind of useful afterwards. Like, you feel it can be a good motivator if you have a day where you don't feel like doing Inktober. You're like, well, I'm learning something that I can use after to like embellish artwork, and if you do bullet journaling, you can use that in your bullet journal. So yeah, and it can be like a small thing, like you just say, I'm doing a page of practicing this one letter, and then the next day it's a page of practicing this other letter, and you just do this like that, and it's really nice. Anyway, I had a blast doing it. Oh yeah, pencil grips on brushes. I need to look that up. I haven't seen a pencil grip in forever though. And with tiny brushes, I'm not quite sure they do them that small. Perhaps I could use like poster tack. And then the brush would never leave my fingers. Otto says, I'm not doing Inktober because I see so many people burn out by the end of it, and I never want to burn out from what I love doing for the sake of a challenge, which is absolutely valid. Yeah, I get the death grips because I like when holding anything, because it's the control. Like when you want to do a really precise line, that's when the grip gets pretty intense. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. Yeah, last year I did calligraphy and plants. Like for each letter I would try to find the name of a plant that started with that letter, and I would write the name in calligraphy and try to sketch the plant or the flower or something like that. Yikes. 000 brushes. That's really tiny. I prefer to draw bigger and use a bigger brush than go for really, really tiny brushes. That's my personal choice. Hey, Lena! Oh, well, wish a happy birthday to your sisters from all of us. Oh, an edible eraser, that's nice. Well, I have poster deck, like... Anyway, but it's really sticky. She's probably like a writer drinking coffee before. So inking with the brush is quite nice, but it's also really slow. Or perhaps it's because I'm looking at the chat. Oh, this is so bad. I'm sorry. I feel like I need to study so many things. I'm glad I got the IKEA catalog so I can practice drawing chairs and tables and stuff like that, because I feel really stumped. I feel like the volume and the geometry doesn't really work. Hey, I didn't see you, but hi, Mondrake. Mondrake? I can't imagine. I don't think I could work with the 000 brush, and they have like 5 zeros, 555 what, like 50 brushes. I'm like, what? That's like a hair split in half. What is that? I don't like this one. It's too bendy. What have I got here? Oh, so I have a 000 here, but it's not. It like looks even bigger than the 0 had before. It's just shorter. Can you guys make sense with the brush's size, please? A 10-0. What is that? Ethereal, what? You were shopping on Amazon yesterday and saw this cute metal cat stencil thing, and it made you think of me. Oh, that's so kind. This is Rapidograph brown ink. This one. feel like I should really try. I should do many things, but I would love to perhaps practice more with inking traditionally and doing more sketches and studies and inking them. The thing is, though, I think I struggle because I don't often find a sketchbook I like using for this stuff. Like here I'm drawing directly on a sheet of Arches paper, which is great, but not super economical in the long hand. So I much prefer this short brush. I can have better control and really decide like the thickness of the line I want to do. It's a lot more efficient. Menso detail brush. I think I have one or two. No, she has the Menta. Lindsay had the Menta brushes, I think. I'm sorry. I think one of these is a Menso brush. Or they both are, and one is Kolinsky and the other is something else. This one feels like the synthetic one, though. I could be wrong because what do I know? But yeah, this one snaps more like it's synthetic. But it's still kind of big, like compared to this one. So yeah, the smallest Chinese brush I have is really old, and it's this one. And as you can tell, it's been used for inking a lot before, like when I was super young and like into American comics. But I want to be a comic book artist. That's what I did. Mentos. I think that painting with Mentos could be a really fun challenge, like using the candy to spread out paint. Not probably wouldn't last very long because of the sugar that would dissolve and all of that, but it would be funny to try. Well, I think. Yeah, they are on jet pens. I think I got those from a different place, but they're the same as on jet pens. Oh, tea break. Excellent idea. Today's tea is brought to you by Otokano. It is Pickwick tea, black tea, and cinnamon in my I Moose Hug You mug, which is kind of a silly inside joke about Supernatural. Enjoy! Ah, delicious. This cat's job is I can only think of stupid stuff, like she's an influencer. I used to watch a couple of influencers on YouTube just as a background noise, and I was like, looks like such a hard life. Oh no. You live in LA and you eat out all the time, and oh no, you go to the gym and to the cafe to work. Such a difficult lifestyle. all the hardships. Yep. No, I think she's just enjoying a mug of tea before getting to work on writing something. Maybe she's a journalist or something. I will try to make the other cats more like actual jobs that are easily identifiable, as opposed to ones you need a foot long of explanation to actually understand. Yes, Otto, the hat is perfect. Okay, I gotta show you my super duper nice hat. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there it is. So, like, through some really weird, I don't know what to call it, but coincidence in life, perhaps, it would seem that, oh yeah, phone on the table, that's an excellent idea. It would seem that Scottish museums often have Scottish bands merch due to exposition about pop culture. And like it's gonna be my birthday soon-ish, and Otto sent me a gift really early so that it would get here in time. And inside there was this, which is why I squealed. And you guys are gonna be, what? That's just a beanie. And I'm like, no, that's not just a beanie. That's a Mogwai beanie, you dolts. It's a Mogwai beanie. Okay, the pause explanation. Mogwai is my favorite band. It is my favorite band in all of existence. And they are from Glasgow, Scotland. And they had merch at the museum. And Otto went there and probably was like, whoa, I think Ev would appreciate this. And I'm like, wow, wow, of course I would. And since it's getting cold out, guess what I'm gonna wear? Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. And there was a really pretty tote bag. Tossing everything on the floor. Go back there. Okay, so I want to be careful because I have ink. Okay, take two. And it's like golden and shimmery, and it's Mogwai, and I squealed again when I saw that. And yeah, I love them. Every time I can, if they come to Montreal, they come quite often to Montreal for shows. And I try to go, and they are the one I was mentioning that break your ears. Like they are so loud. Like sometimes there's like 3 electric guitars, 1 bass, and 1 drum, and they all played like as loud as they can together. So it's insane for the ears, but it's amazing for the soul. So I have like many t-shirts, and I have all the music, and I'm like excited about everything Mogwai. They are basically, I like to call them the soundtrack to my life, because there hasn't been the moment in my life ever since I know of them, that they haven't come up with the music that really fit my mood. I would wear it inside if I was actually cold, but I'm not often cold for the head. Or head cold. Yeah! Oh man! I think if I'd been there with you, I would have like lost my shit, sorry, in the shop and be like, what? Being current and like swearing French Canadian and be all over the place, and people would have been like, what is this insane person doing there? Ah, sorry. So yep, that's the awesome hat. And I have a huge head, so I saw it and I was like, if this one doesn't fit, I will find a way to shrink my head. But it fits, so all good. I don't need to find a head shrink. Oh yeah, my soul would have left my body, definitely. I think it's safe to assume that I have all of Mogwai's albums. in retrospect, I am not sure all of them are purchased copies. Some of them I've never seen available for sale though, so but every time, like, I've always tried to buy the albums if I can, and they came out with one like last week, the week before that. It's a soundtrack to a movie and it's really good. So I love them. Like, there is no, it's not one of those bands that I love them for a while and then I stop because they changed and I don't like new stuff, like Radiohead or something like that. Mogwai, they've always been consistently awesome for me. Scenario in a nutshell: if .exe has stopped working, reboot, yes, no. Sorry. When I like something, I really like something and it shows. When I don't like something, it usually shows as well. But yeah, they have the most amazing music, and I like it. Most of it is instrumental, and they always have these moments of like build up, and then there's like a big intensity, big intense moment, and it drops back down. So it's like, maybe I think my brain engages with the stuff even if I'm not paying attention to the music. So it's kind of great for people who need to do like more than one thing at once. Did you, all of us have been to school, right? So I wondered, were you the kind of people that had to focus on something else to be able to pay attention to the class? Or were you able to just pay attention to the class? I've never been able to just pay attention to a class. Like, which is why I ended up drawing so much, because I would doodle at the same time that the teacher was teaching. Oh, hi, bye Zoe. I forgot to do the phone. So yeah, so there's kind of this if it's completely silent, I cannot focus. Like the silence is too distracting. So Mogwai is perfect for me in that sense, because I can listen to it and it's not lyrics that you pay attention to or stuff going on that engages your brain, but still it's there, and it sort of soaks in the extra buffer. I don't know, I'm not diagnosed, I don't have ADHD, but I feel like it's a bit similar, like in a very, very, very minimal way, to ADHD. Like, it's a bit like you have too much focus, so just focusing on the teacher is distracting, and there has to be something that removes the excess energy, the excess focus, so that you can really focus on the actually important stuff. Hey Mark! Oh, hi Mark! Oh, thank you so much for stopping by, Lena. Have fun at the birthday party. Hey, May. This is so boring. What did I do? Nice psychotic look. No, it was just a few minutes of work. That's fine. Moth-looking things? How are these like moths? Oh, that's a good one. How do you say it? Do I say mandrache? Mandrache? Mondrache? Is it French? I think Otto and Grace got a bit surprised that I erased the sketch. It wasn't working, guys. It was a boring, stiff pose. I wanted to make it a bit different. Okay. Yeah, that's a boulangerie cat. A baker. And I decided the baguettes would be shaped like fish because they really should. I haven't watched Beauty and the Beast in forever. It's not my favorite Disney. My favorite Disney movie is, I think it's a tie between Lilo and Stitch and The Emperor's New Groove. Boulangerie. Scary underwear. Boulangerie. and Stitch made me cry as well. I'm still stunned that it ended up being a movie, and a Disney movie. Because I'm like, what? This is so like a serious thing. Like this family that it's the parents are dead, and it's the oldest sister that is not even like an adult yet has to take care of the younger sister, which is really just one step above a toddler. And it's like, yeah, it's funny, there's aliens and Stitch and shenanigans, but it has a really human heart, and that's why I really enjoy. It's a great one. Love Lilo and Stitch. And like Lilo is so cute, and she has quirks, but like quirks that make sense. Like they live on Hawaii, and she takes pictures of tourists, and I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's made to be, haha, look, it's quirky. It's just like, you know, that really fine line between a quirk and a critique of something, and like it's not overtly in your face. Like we are critiquing this aspect of that, but it's still there, and like she at some point she ends out the camera to her sister, and she's like, hey, I need a new one, or something like that, because it's full. And she has a wall full of tourist pictures eating like chubby tourists eating ice cream, or definitely not Hawaiian people. And she looks at the wall and she's like, aren't they beautiful? And she's not sarcastic, she's a small kid, but like she really has some fun quirks. I love Lilo. When she puts spoons of her friends in the jar of pickles and shakes them with her book about voodoo or something. Oh, it's a great movie. Oh, that's so sad, Tsukabu. Oh, I think I saw it. Yeah, she messes with them, like they ask the directions and she sends them off like on to the wrong places. And oh, that scene when she has Scruffy, her doll that she made herself because she doesn't have a real doll. And she feels angry at the doll, and she just tosses it on the floor and goes away, and she comes back a second later and picks the doll back up and hugs her, and it's just, oh, that movie. And on a totally different note, The Emperor's New Groove is just hilarious. It is so funny. Yeah, you'd understand if you lived here. Oh yeah, I mean, Lilo and Stitch doesn't pull back any punches. They're just really clever about delivering them. Perhaps the ending is a bit of a cop-out because it's kind of an unrealistic resolution to the issue of the movie, but yeah, still a good movie. I haven't really enjoyed any recent one, except perhaps for Finding Dory, which was surprisingly touching. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch Lilo and Stitch soon. It's so beautiful as well. Like, I totally believe that not all Disney movies are meant for all people. So when I watch a Disney movie and I'm like, huh, I didn't really connect with this one, to me it just means that I was not the intended audience for that one. And that's fine. I don't have to like everything. It's on Netflix. Well, I have it on DVD. I bought it the moment it came out on DVD. Lilo and Stitch, it's one of those things that I was like counting the days before it came out on DVD because I wanted to watch it again so bad. I think Lilo is on Netflix. I think I watched it recently on Netflix. It's said though that there are so many underrated Disney movies. Well, I think that's a matter of perception. What do you consider an underrated Disney movie? Oh, is there more than one Lilo and Stitch movie? I've only seen the first one. I'm not sure I want to see the other ones. Four movies, what? I think I died a little bit. Oh, Treasure Planet was good. I tried watching Brother Bear and didn't really like it. It's beautiful though. Holy moly, is it beautiful. Treasure Planet is a really odd one, but it's a really interesting one. I would have thought Atlantis is fairly loved. Oh, Mulan is a good one. Mulan, I was thinking about Mulan the other day because I don't know why, but I thought back on this really I think it's because I had one of the songs stuck in my head. But anyway, I was thinking back on it, and I was like, there's some pretty intense stuff going on in Mulan anyway. Like, you have this happy, lucky song, like they sing about having a girl worth fighting for, and they're like, they joy, joy, and it's kind of a sexist song, but Mulan is like, hey guys, you're being sexist, and that's not really cool, and the guys are just being stupid. But yeah, and the song ends super abruptly because they get to a town that has been burned down by the Huns. And I was like, that's kind of a really emotional moment. Like, it works really well as a shock. And I was like, huh. I love Mulan. I saw Moana and I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. It's like, huh, this is not for me. It's beautiful, but yeah, sure. I haven't seen Coco yet, but I have not really, like, it's beautiful, but I kind of feel bad saying this because I feel like it's hard to explain, but sometimes the stories just don't compel me. And it's not based on anything. Like, Disney movies have such publicity made about them with all the social issues and all of that, that I feel like it's a really bad thing to dislike a Disney movie. But I'm like, it's just like, it happens with other movies, and is it as bad? Like, if a movie doesn't speak to me, I will just not see it right away, and I don't spend my days watching movies, so I don't know. Is the issue with me? Am I being stupid? Oh yeah, it's the moment in Mulan is really like a slap in the face. You're like, haha, we are going to the battle, and it doesn't feel real until they get to that point where you're like, oh, that's different. That's real now, right? I think I lost interest in Disney a bit since they moved to completely digital. Like, I grew up with the 2D stuff. I studied 2D animation. I liked 2D animation. So the 3D stuff is not really appealing. And also, I noticed, perhaps that's me, but back when they did 2D animation, every movie had a different style. Now they all have really similar style. Like, really similar. So I wonder if that's part of why it's not, like, it's not a surprise anymore. The new Disney come out and you don't go like, oh, this is stylistically really interesting, this is new, oh, I've never seen anything like this before. It's just like, oh yeah, another CG movie, great. Now they can animate water really convincingly. Booyah. I mean, it's sort of lackluster a bit. Oh, thanks, Grace, for for sharing a spot in my boat. Oh, the Lion King was so huge, so big. I mean, it had big cats in it. Of course, I love the Lion King. This ink is really weird. Like, it dries a bit browner than it looks, but it really looks green. Like a bit like green umber. Raw umber, sorry. Oh, the live action films from Disney, ugh. Ugh. And they were making everything in live action. This is so depressing. Like, you don't need to redo Mulan. Oh, I will completely lose my marbles if they redo Lilo and Stitch in live action. That will not fly. I will not be happy. Okay, so I think I will, like, let this dry. I will go rinse that up and clean that up And then I will take out the watercolors and I will color this a bit. Oh, that's so cute. Otto says it looks like the first kitty is sitting in a cafe while the bakery cat works at the cafe and have taken it fancy to the first kitty. That's cute. Yeah, no Shangli in... Shangli... Shan... That was his name, right? I'm having a brain fart. Li Shang, yeah, Li Shang. So, I don't... Like, what is the story going to be? Why are you doing Mulan but not doing Mulan at the same time? What is going on? I have no idea which watercolors. I'm open to suggestions. I will cut this here for this. I'll be right back. Ça pourrait être comme ça plus souvent. Alrighty. I'm back. What? Spin to win. Alright. Did you manage to find a way? Oh yeah. Hold on, where is it? Ha, it's there. Just to give me a moment while I'm digging under here, and I will try not to break anything. So, someone brought to my attention this palette. I wish I could remember the name of the person, but it was in one of the comments on a video, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but this is a huge double-decker watercolor palette by Mugello. When I say huge, I mean it. It has room for 72 colors. So I will be putting the Renaissance paints in there. Comes with info pamphlet in Korean. And yeah, it's huge. It has this removable tray. I don't know why, but for most of the Mugello palettes I've seen, the trays, they don't really fit well. Well, they fit well, but they don't stay there. And I'm like, well, I don't really want this to flop down. So will I have to open this upside down all the time so this palette stays? Anyway, so I think I will be able to fit all of the 70 colors in there. And that's what I wanted. I wish. Otto says, wouldn't it be awesome if brands made palettes that are custom made to fit all their colors into? Yes, please. Though, can you imagine how big the Daniel Smith one would be? It would be like as big as a table. Well, mind you, this one is really big. I usually don't try to go for big palettes like this because it's not super convenient. but I really wanted to keep all the Renaissance paints in the same place, so this is my solution. Big palette. I just got it like on Friday. No, I will not fill it right now. I will be filling it in my Renaissance review, which I can now film since I've gotten the palette. And everything is falling down. Okay. Safe. Stable. Okay, cool. It's plastic palette. Yes, Mark, that's exactly the problem. It's really big. Yeah, I will either put magnets or I will put poster tack, because that's not a permanent solution. So if I change my mind, I can always come back and fix it. Okay, so grab this. Question, Ev, when are you going to review your new Superior palette? Which one? I would use the Lucas colors if I had a bit more range, but it's mostly like greens and blues and purples and one orange, which is not a super great fit to paint cats unless I want to do LSD cats. Oh, Velcro would work. I'm trying to find solutions that don't use half pans if I can. It's not always possible, and if I can't find a solution, well, I will deal with it. But I'm finding that I much prefer to use slanted palettes. Yeah, it kind of looks like this one is at the cafe just enjoying, and this one is like, oh, this kitty's cute, and this one is like, oh my god, fresh bread. Fresh bread. The pastel pink one, I've worked on the review. Hopefully it will come out next week. Yeah. All right. Don't know if you guys can see, but my first sketch still left an imprint in the Arches paper, which is kind of annoying, but like I don't mind half pans, but I don't want to end up with only half pans. And since most of my stuff is already half pans, I'm trying to find ways to put things in something else than half pans. It might not make a lot of sense, but it makes sense to me. there hasn't been a lot of paint suggestions. Like there's only been the Lucas one, but like I said, my Lucas palette is kind of not super nicely fitted to this. What is this one? Oh, see, that's the Lucas palette for now. So yellow, green, 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 turquoise, turquoise, blue, well, violet actually, and orange. So it's not it's not the best fit. Oh, do you guys remember the palette I had with the you guys were like, hey, I can't believe you didn't put a sticker on that palette. And I was like, huh, fairly good point. And I did this. So I thought that Jazz Running was a perfect fit to hide the brand sticker on this palette, which makes me laugh. No, not the pastel palette, but the brown line work. It's gonna look a bit weird. And I've tried it, and it's really opaque because it's pastel colors, so everything has white in it. So it's not the best for ink and wash. Core could be a nice idea. I saw about Renaissance. What a surprise. Hello, Agnieszka. Gotta stop clicking that box. Okay. Trying to think of a palette that has decent amount of brown in it, or colors that would fit. Oh, you're seeing Jazz tomorrow! Yay! Oh, bye, Mark! Thank you so much for stopping by. These guys. I feel like they've been a bit neglected. So, yeah. Yeah, I was clinking and clacking tins in there and opening sets to find something that worked for me. And suddenly it is. And I think my instinct was really on point because look at all these nice potential cat colors. Speaking of cats, I really gotta poke Heather. Huh. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so all great kitten colors. And also bread colors. I have used Rembrandt. I have a small set of Rembrandt that is somewhere in there. I have a couple of spare colors as well. Anyway. That's the thing with me. I get when I mention a thing and then wonder where I saw it. Yeah, that's where I saw it. So I have this set, which is 12 colors plus 2 I've added myself. Brush Ultimo number 6. Oh, it's Sennelier, but it's a Sennelier set I put together myself. Sennelier also have like the only phthalo blue that I really phthalo blue. What am I saying? Ultramarine blue that I like that I actually like. I tolerate many of them, but I really like Senneliers because it's easy to wet. I'm not difficult. I just want an ultramarine blue that's easy to wet. So I think this kitty here is going to be a white kitty because that's not something I've done often. Oh yeah, good timing. Sennelier has a sale on the Jacksons right now. I think it's something awesome like 20% off. Do you still have that Sennelier Billy Shallow collaboration palette? Yes, I do. I really like that palette. I've added Cobalt Turquoise and Opera Pink to it. But those were, oh, look at that. The ink is not fully waterproof yet. Huh. Well, learn something every day. I was able to erase over it no problem, but as you can see, it sort of leaks a bit in the water. Not that I mind, but it might mess up the final look of this picture. Not that it's anything but a sketch, but yeah. That's weird. Maybe I need to let it dry longer. Did you convert the palette to fit pans? For the Billy Shower one? I have a heat gun, but it's stored away. I will keep in mind that perhaps I need to heat set this ink properly on Arches paper. I'm kind of surprised. definitely something to test out more. Now, I did not convert the baby shower one to put pens. I'm not a great fan of permanently altering things. Yeah. An 8 F-Pan Scenery palette is still $25. Well, that's not so bad. That's what, $3 a pan? $3 a half pan? That's fine. That's really fine. Oh, bye Sakura, thank you so much for stopping by. Is it the Aquamini set, Avery, that you're looking at? It's a really nice set. Yeah, the bleeding effect of the ink is really not so bad in this picture. It makes kind of a warm halo, but it's still something I'm kind of glad I'm testing out on something more like a sketch like this picture, rather than, you know, working on a commission or on a bigger piece and then finding out at the last minute that the ink does this bleeding thing. That's not when you want to find out about this stuff. Heather, I was thinking about you. I was like, hey, I should really poke Heather. It's been a while. How are you, Heather? Oh, the Aquamini set. Like I had it. I still have it, but it's been like integrated either in this palette or like other palettes, and sometimes like I'm like I kind of miss it. I wish I still had that configuration. I love the colors. That vermilion, like it's a weird color, but it's beautiful. And they have a decent, like I said, their ultramarine blue is the only one that doesn't make me instantly angry. I thought I had the... not have that one there. It's the one I was looking for. I picked Sennelier paints. I am angry at ultramarine blues in general because I started painting mostly using. I really need to put this one in there. I was using mostly Daniel Smith French ultramarine, and I hate it. I hate that stupid color. Not because it's a beautiful hue. The color is beautiful. The paint bothers me incredibly so much because it's a brick. Yeah, have you not all heard my ultramarine blue brands? I mean, basically, a lot of ultramarine blues are really hard to re-wet, and that bothers me because it's annoying and you have to scrub at them for a long time before they deliver some really weak color, and I'm like, I got other stuff to do and I want to be like, my paint is drying on the paper and I need to add this stupid blue before it dries, and it doesn't want to, you know, pretty sure you can extrapolate from there. So yeah, and then I was like, stupid ultramarine blue, I hate you. And I found other colors like Indian Throne, and you know, you have many other blues that work really well and can do something really similar to what ultramarine blue does. But eventually I came back around and I tested a few blues that were really nice. I know that Dan's ultramarine blue, the pan he sent me, was really nice, and I made some myself and it was better, and I was like, okay, so perhaps that's not like all ultramarine blues. And Otto sent me some and they are pretty great as well. So I got, you know, but it's just the fact that I started with the color that I heard everyone talk about this color and recommend this color. And also it was from Theo Yichi's palette, and it had both French ultramarine blue and Italian burnt sienna. So two bricks, two hard, flat, dead bricks of a paint that you're supposed to mix together, and they are super weak and super hard, and I was like, this is not working for me. I hate these. I really don't like them. But Otto sent me Burnt Sienna by Daniel Smith, and I really like it. It's a lot better. So yeah, so I think it's just that I started my exploration with colors that were really a poor match for myself. So that's why I have this thing with ultramarine blue that I like. My knee-jerk reaction to ultramarine blue is like, ugh, hiss. But yeah, it's no longer all that accurate. Oops. Oh. Ooh. Well, I'm excited to try the new Otto Blue. I think like a couple of breaking moments happened earlier. Okay, Grace. Okay. Ultramarine blue as a sky color is a really poor choice, in my opinion, and apparently Grace agrees. But I just find it's kind of weird because ultramarine blue is a warm color, but it makes for a sky that looks really cold, in my opinion. I prefer to use like a cooler blue, and I don't know why, but to me it feels like a warmer sky. So it's kind of a brain twister, but that's where I'm at. Cerulean blue is a better sky color, I agree. It's a bit more neutral. Like, sure, you have ceruleans that will be more coal, more yellow, but oftentimes it can be a bit in between. But it's really nice color. Things like cobalt blue and ultramarine blue I don't really like for skies. Yeah, manganese blue and cerulean blue, or zirconium cerulean. Yeah, it's a matter of taste, and perhaps it depends also on the kind of skies you're used to seeing. Perhaps that reflects what I'm used to seeing for sky. I'm gonna use, I think this one is some kind of cerulean color for the white cat's eyes. Yeah, phthalo blue works fine if you water it down a lot, but it doesn't have any texture, and the texture you have in cerulean blue is kind of nice in the sky. If you have a big wide expanse of a wash, I think that a bit of texture in there is nice for giving you something to look at. But that might just be me. Why are you gonna eat Kitty's face, Grace? Yeah, although, what did you notice as a difference between American and Scottish skies? Oh, that's interesting, Otto. Otto's saying that the USA sky was so blue, like someone turned up the saturation in the sky, on the sky. It's also a cooler blue, whereas here it's a warmer blue, in the color sense of cool and warm, not temperature. Oh, I'm snorting. Perhaps I'm laughing more than usual. I didn't know you went to India, Heather. How was it? Cute kitty love story. The prismatic lake is the one that's like a rainbow, right? It's like blue, green, yellow, orange. Grace. Kitty does not approve. Pay attention to me, human. Feed me. Yeah, that lake looks amazing. Rainbow lake. How can you not enjoy the rainbow lake? It's naturally like a rainbow. I mean, what? Oh, I think I just snort a bit when I laugh. When something is really funny, I snort. Oh, bye, Ian. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, yes. I forgot to go to the PO box. I really need to stop by the PO box. So it's often empty, so I think this is the proper moment to plug it a bit. But if you decide you want to do that, sorry, I'm having hiccups. Okay, so I have a PO box, and the address is supposed to be in the description. And it's there if you decide you want to send in some postcards. I kind of collect ugly postcards, so this is a great opportunity to send them out if you happen to see something really funny and bad, and even the cute ones. I mean, I will happily accept any postcards. But yeah, it's open, it's there, and I'm just trying to make the best of it. So if you feel like that's something you would want to do, by all means. Oh no, you can send in all kinds of postcards. Ugly ones are the funniest, but if you see, like, I've received cute ones, I've received actually funny ones, just anything. India is so hot, is hot, at least it was when I was there. I got to see an amazing bas-relief and some statues. The colors of the saris are so vivid. I might get brave and show you a picture of me wearing. Ooh! Whoa, that's so cool. Yeah, saris are beautiful. Okay, Avery. Well, thanks for stopping by. Have fun. Well, even your face is colorful, Heather. It's totally in the spirit of the thing. I'm trying to give her kind of a flowery blouse, and I don't know if it's a shirt, shorts or a skirt, but I went to the Japanese festival. I went to the Japanese festival that happens every year around here. It's called Matsuri, and I went there one year because I would go more often, but like I know no one else who wants to go with me, so it's kind of weird to go there on your own. Like it's a big festival, and you're like I enjoy it. I love seeing all this stuff, but I always feel a bit like I'm lurking or like looking at things I'm not supposed to. So yeah, and I have a picture of me in a yukata somewhere. It was really fun to wear it. I know you would go with me, Dr. Otokano. It would be actually pretty awesome because like I would love to have your insight on the thing, but it's really fun. They have like there's a stage, and they have like drum shows and like traditional dancing, and there is often like Japanese archery demos, and I don't know if they have fireworks. I don't think they're allowed in that area to have fireworks though. But you know, they have a couple of booths, and they have shaved ice and a couple of things. Like I haven't I haven't looked at the food stalls a lot because it would hurt me so much to be like, oh, all this stuff I wish I could try, but that's probably gonna give me like a terrible stomach ache because of the oh no, my brain is absolutely brain farting on me. But the fish pancakes, like there is bound to be milk in the batter, and it's gonna be milk from here, and it's gonna be the milk that I react to, so I cannot try it. But it sort of makes me so sad, which is why I try not to go to the food stalls. But I've looked at everything else, and I even got a bookmark made with my name in katakana on it. It was fun. It was a really fun thing. Oh yeah, taiyaki. Thank you so much. That's the word I was looking for. I had takoyaki in my head, but I was like, no, that's the octopus one. I haven't tried takoyaki just because I'm kind of scared. I know my mom is probably allergic to octopi. So I'm just afraid that if I taste it, I'm gonna realize I'm allergic as well and develop this sudden and unpleasant reaction to it and be like, ah, well, yay, like hives, or I don't know, worse. So I guess though I should probably try it here rather than wait until I travel somewhere to try it, because I guess it's easier if I have to go to the hospital. It's probably easier to do around here than you know, when you travel. But yeah, I have yet to see takoyaki that looks good as well. Like I think it's kind of difficult to find good fried food here that has the spirit of fried food in Japan, which is like not super duper fat. Also, perhaps Otto, you can help me with that, but the batter in takoyaki, does it have milk in it? Because if it does, that's another reason why I cannot really try takoyaki here. Oh, I am also really sure, I'm convinced that Otto looks awesome in a yukata. I loved it. Wearing it was like a really awesome moment because you get to see, like, someone is there to help you put it on because there's a way to put these on, and it's just so interesting to see like how they account for your height, because the thing is, I think yukatas and kimonos are made from one bolt of fabric. Like this specific fabric is made in this width and this length, and yukatas are made so that they use the entire bolt. Like it's all like intended this way, and there is very minimal cutting into the fabric. Like you don't have many special shapes. It's mostly, you know, like rectangles that are sewn together. But you know, people have different heights, and basically yukatas are always the same height. So you can see how they account for that and how they place it. And oh, anyway, it was awesome. Short story, it was awesome. I'm a terrible vegetarian. I wish there was a word for like I cannot eat dairy, because that's basically what I am. I cannot eat dairy, and I don't like meat, with a few exceptions. So that makes me like a weird combo of things. But I will sometimes eat meat, not because I like it, but because it's perhaps an easier way to get certain nutrients that don't require eating like a huge bunch of stuff that I don't like. But yeah, more often than not, I don't really like the taste of meat, so. Maybe look for a city with a large Japanese community. They should have authentic food. Yeah, Toronto is good for that. No milk in takoyaki. Okay, cool. If takoyaki doesn't have any milk in it, perhaps I could try it eventually, but I've never ever had octopus, so maybe that will be a disaster. And I've eaten some awesome Japanese food in Toronto. But yeah, if they have to make something with milk, it's gonna be Canadian milk, and it's the one with the protein that I seem to react to. So, there. It's called lactose intolerance or milk allergy. Yeah, I know, but like it doesn't have a word, fancy word like that you can find on labels, like for vegan or vegetarian. Like they say, hey, this is vegetarian, this is vegan. And you're like, oh yay, that's code for I can eat this. Awesome. But yeah, being like, hey, I often just say I'm allergic to milk, so people don't go like, oh yeah, but this doesn't have any lactose in it, and I'm like, I don't. Sigh. But yeah, I react to casein. Casein. Anyway, the protein. Heather says that saris are like that, a bolt of fabric. That's really cool. I kind of, it's satisfying to imagine that some garments are made with the idea that this uses the whole bolt of fabric with as little waste as possible, because we are intelligent people and waste is stupid. And I'm like, yes, I like this. Yes, I wish I could, Otto. Hey, Paulo, hi. How are you, Paulo? I'm fortunate enough that my problems with milk doesn't, so far, means I have to go to the hospital. Like some allergies like shellfish are really, really bad, and like this is like EpiPen or a hospital or die. But I mean, my dairy thing, even if I was traveling, let's say I eat dairy and it doesn't suit me, well, I can still do stuff. I just gotta stay at like the Airbnb or the hotel, or you know, just take it easy for a day. But I'm not like violently ill, or you know, well, so far I kind of don't want to test my luck. You know how allergies sometimes they're like, you know, you start with really mild reactions, and the more you take the stuff, the worse it gets. Like I'm intolerant to penicillin, but I was fine with it before, and eventually I reacted to it. So I had reached a saturation level that meant that I was now allergic to it. So I just hope that my dairy thing is not like that. Like if I occasionally eat dairy, I'm gonna feel a bit bad, but it's not gonna worsen. I didn't know Canada had special protein in their milk. No, I don't think it's a special protein. I think it's just a localization thing. Like the cows here, they probably don't make exactly the same milk as you have in other countries, or other continents, I should say. But like, I think the way they make the milk here is perhaps something in the process that makes me react to it more than if I ate some dairy when I was in Switzerland 5 years ago, and I didn't even notice. It didn't have any effect. We realized afterwards, like days after, and I was like, huh, that's weird. But I mean, it's like if I had eaten that here, I would have been really ill. Like it would have been painful. But over there, nothing happened. So I'm thinking perhaps in the way that, like what the cattle eats, the specific, like it's not the same cows as we have here because there's like different factors. So perhaps there is something in there that means that I don't react as much. And if I were to go live in Switzerland, perhaps I would eventually react to the dairy there. So I don't know if that makes sense. Do you make your own dog food, Paulo? Oh, yikes. Oh, Grace, that is so sad. I'm happy for you that there are so many gluten-free options now, or at least stuff that don't have gluten in it anyway. But yeah, it's not easy having to. Hey, Temple, hi. Connie says my allergies are basically all respiratory. That's not awesome at all. Yeah. Do you have an EpiPen or just like a, the like the asthma pumps? Like how do you treat your allergies if they're all respiratory? I tried goat milk and I was still ill on goat milk. I really tried for as long as I could to have dairy because it's just so convenient. Like the dairy lobby is huge here, so and like it's better now, but back then there was no alternative yogurt, there was no alternative cheese. There was like really, really little options. So I was speaking with the natural food store guy, and he said, "Well, you could try, goat yogurt." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I tried goat yogurt, and I still had the same issue. So I was like, "Ugh." Oh, hey, Amisha, thank you for being there. I'm sorry I didn't say hi. And bye, April. Thank you so much for being there as well. We are a sad bunch of allergies. Like, my dairy thing is annoying, but it's not like it's just annoying. Like, it's oh, if I eat dairy, I have like a pain in my. Well, it does the same thing happens with beets. So something. But I see you guys with your allergies, and I feel so sad for you. I'm like, oh, I wish I could. I don't know, provide you with options. Like I don't like cooking, and I'm a, like a just an average cook, but it makes me so sad. People are like, oh, I can't eat this. And I'm like, I want to cook you things you can eat. I'm sure there's a recipe for cookies out there that you could eat. Yeah, oat pancakes, is it basically just quick oats and water? Do you put eggs in there? Can you have eggs, Otto? Yeah, onion. Yeah, if you're allergic to it, there's not much you can do. Oh, did I miss Connie's answer about... Like, I found a really easy way to make... It's not a cookie. We call it a galette in French. I don't know if there's a word for it in English, but it's basically, you know, when you have a kind of a large cookie, but it's usually healthy stuff. And like, I don't like cooking, and it's gonna show in a second, but I was like, I need a snack, I don't have a snack, I don't want to... And I opened the cupboard and I saw that I had oatmeal packets, like instant oatmeal, but a decent brand, don't worry. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that if I add water to this and cook it in a pan with a bit of oil, it's gonna thicken and it's gonna make like the galette I'm looking for. So that's what I did. And it basically made kind of a soft cookie that was really delicious, actually. And I was like, I'm onto something here. Like, kind of an easy way to make a pancake, because like oatmeal packets, oatmeal will thicken with water and heat. So it's gonna hold together kind of nicely, and it already has a bit of sugar in it and a bit of salt. And the brand that I like has, I think, flax, blueberry, and cinnamon in it. So I made a kind of a soft cookie, spur of the moment, and it was actually quite good. And I was like, hey, that's fun. You can make oat flour by blending your own oats. It's actually kind of easy to make. Like, you buy oat flakes and you just grind them. There's a big truck outside. It's making a lot of noises. A lot of noise? Yeah, a lot of noise. You still get real cinnamon. Is there an issue with cinnamon that I'm not aware of? I love cinnamon. I'm glad it's cooling out outside, because it means I'm going to be able to bake applesauce. Applesauce? Applesauce. And applesauce is just baked apples with cinnamon. And it's great. It is great, especially since sometimes we get local apples and they taste good, but the texture is a bit like soft, and soft apples are really gross. So I bake them. Oh, that's interesting. Organic honey oat bread that makes you feel better. That's cool. Yes, nowadays you get cassia bark. You can still find the Ceylon bark one, but I was reading something on cinnamon the other day, but I don't remember which is which. But one of them, like, both inoffensive, it's cinnamon, but one of them, if you eat a lot of it, can have some perhaps really small adverse effect on health. But oh no, there's not enough cinnamon in the world for the demand. No! Oh no, how can we be so dumb as humans? Cinnamon is life! Crud. I'm gonna cherish the cinnamon I have. I love cinnamon. Yeah, homemade applesauce is really, really nice. Oh no, cinnamon, don't go. There was kind of something like that about cocoa, cacao, chocolate bean. couple of years ago, and they sort of never really followed through, so I don't know what happened with that. Was there really a shortage, or was it fine in the end? Like, I don't really know. Cassia is not real cinnamon, but gets sold. Well, it tastes like cinnamon mostly. So hey, Grace, do you think you could perhaps look into getting like an allergy test done? Because I mean, I understand wanting to test everything yourself, but it also feels like you're gonna put yourself through a lot of strain to figure out what you're allergic to. So I wonder if having a test made, like a blood test or perhaps a scratch test done, would be less of a strain on your resources, like your body's resources, to figure out what you're allergic to. Cassia, cinnamon, well, cinnamon, cassia is more pungent and less aromatic. Well, I'll take fake cinnamon over no cinnamon if that's my options, but I really wish humans would be more clever about this stuff. Would the allergy test not pick up the intolerances? Yeah, but then she needs to be. Oh no! Oh, ooh, ugh. Yikes! Blah. Not great. Okay, that answers my question. Thank you so much. Welcome back, Heather. Heather, how is Crystal? Is her belly patching up nicely? How's the scar looking? I hope you guys can't really hear the big truck outside. It's really annoying. It's really big. Ow. Is there a paint making cat, Eve? There is one at the beginning of every single one of my videos. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was how allergy test worked, which makes a lot of sense. I guess I just didn't look into it at all, but like it's kind of it goes two ways. Like if you're really allergic to something, you're gonna know anyway. Like Otto's allergy to nuts looks really bad, so I don't feel like it's worth it to have some just to be told that you're allergic to them, because you can just go, well, I knew. That was already, you know. But yeah, for the more subtle stuff, but then again, it seems like it doesn't pick up a lot of the subtle stuff, so. Alright, I think I'm just about, or almost done with this drawing. Unless you have any specific questions you want to ask. Temple says that they totally believe your pastry-loving cat. Their Millie looks just like that when Hubs brings home the French pastries. She has attacked more than a few loaves of bread. Okay, so two quick stories about that. One of the cats we had when I was younger, which was actually my brother's cat, technically, she loved croissant. And my brother also loved croissant, so when we would get croissant, he would give her like flakes of it, and she would come to seek him out when there was a croissant around. She was like, hey, give me a flake of the awesome like buttery stuff, please. And she's like the only cat I've ever seen, well, we've ever had that did that. And I thought that was cute. And the other quick story is that once I went to the cat cafe we used to go before it closed with my friend, and they had amazing vegan donuts there. So we would get a donut and like a tea or coffee and just eat our stuff. And there was one time when like my friend got up to, I don't know, go to the bathroom, and I just turned around for a second, and when I came back like to her stuff, a cat had stolen her donut. There was a cat that had jumped on the table, grabbed the donut, and run with it. Like, what? That's a donut. That's like you know, like a cinnamon sugared donut. That's not like a tuna donut. What are you doing? So I thought that was really funny. I think the cats, they really like the fact that pastries are fat, full of butter. And yeah, that's it. That's the story. Oh, she had a couple of staples put in, and it seems to be helping. Oh yeah, I'm glad. Crystal is still not healed entirely. There is one little spot on her belly that had to have a lot of skin removed. Yeah, the stitches that were there seemed loose, so I asked Vet about securing better. She had a couple of staples put in. It seems to be helping. It's a really big wound, so definitely a slow process, but I'm glad she's doing better. Oh, I'm catching up on chat a bit, but I can see of the chat, and Lito says that the test for things like celiac requires you to eat the thing you think you're allergic to every single day for 2 months. That's awful. Hey, bye, Mandrash. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, the cat I had, like my young person's cat. When I was a kid, the cat I had once found his way into the butter dish and licked a great big chunk of it. And I'm like, this is probably like wreaking havoc on your poor livers. Your poor cat liver, but they like the fat stuff. I don't know why. Maybe, well, I'm pretty sure I can find out why. It's probably a survival thing. Like, I figured that if they're outside, the fattier stuff they eat, the more chance of surviving they have. But yeah, it's kind of silly from the perspective of an indoor cat. Hey, Kiyomi. I'm just about done. I'm sorry. I think I will be doing more like cats with jobs like this, because this is really fun. And it's a good practice for me. It's not perfect, but practice is good. Yeah, that butter will ruin her pancreas. Yeah, okay, pancreas. I'm catching up on the chat, and I like that Grace says that Kitty likes rice cakes. Okay. Temple says that Millie loves cinnamon rolls, which is really funny. And also likes garbanzo beans and split pea soup. Lindy says that her cat will steal pizza if she gets a chance. There was one time that Scout tried to steal a whole fake chicken nugget from Mr. E's plate, and it was really absurd because like let's say this space is Mr. E's lap. The Scout was over here and the plate was over there, and she basically just reached out in front of us, not trying to hide it or anything, grabbed a fake chicken nugget and just pulled it towards her, and we're like, well, Scout, and she was like, I'm doing nothing, this is fine, you didn't see me. Yeah, sure, we didn't see you, of course. Silly kitty. Oops, I bumped the camera. It's probably all skewed now. Well, anyway, I'm mostly done, so I don't see any more questions for now. I hope that everyone with allergies will have kind of a not too hard a time with them. Bye, May. And yeah, I hope you will all eventually or at some point feel great this weekend. And I wish you a great weekend. I'm doing nothing, this is fine, a cat's motto. Yeah, that's their old modus operandi is I'm doing nothing, this is fine. So yeah, have a great weekend. If you have pets, go give them plenty of hugs. And we will see each other quite soon. And hopefully paint more cats. Because cats are awesome. So bye everyone. Take care. Oh, before I quit. Great big thank you to Grace and Otto for being super awesome mods. And Grace doesn't have a channel, but Otto has a channel which you can go check, and I encourage you to go check it out for awesome videos about watercolors and really relaxing videos about watercolors as well. So thanks chat, thanks mods, thanks everyone who's been there, and have a great time. Bye bye.